Welcome to the Starting Over podcast. I'm your host, Edward Sheldon, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Today's show is going to be a brief review of Batman Team Up. I know for many of you, you're like, yay, Dark Logos is back, doing the stuff. And yes, I am sort of back, doing the stuff. I'm going to go over the set, and I'm going to point out some key things that I think that are worth looking at or being mindful of. I think the key thing that I'm going to say for this set is WizKids is trying their hardest to make sure that you are buying boosters. They want you to buy boosters. They don't really want you to go to third-party sellers. They want you to straight up just buy boosters. They have put in what I would call a faux value by the way that they've done distribution, number one, which is horrible, and also how they have done the objects, which is horrible. But what we have in its stead, if we ignore that, we have a DC set that ends up solving a good amount of complaints that I had about DC sets and what they had to do to stay relevant in the meta outside of their brief, appearance window, and so that they can be competitive later on. All right. With that being said, we're just going to go ahead and start into it. Like I said before, I'm going to go over the characters that I think that are worth it, and I'm going to skip over the characters that I think are questionable. Okay, and that's sort of the best thing that I can tell you. All right, so let's start off with our comments, and we have a plethora of pretty decent commons in this set, and we're going to go ahead and start with Robin. And I'm going to say we're looking at Robin at 50 points instead of his lower point value, because you're able to get, when there's trouble, you know who to call, leadership, outwit. When Robin uses leadership and succeeds this turn, when a friendly character uses Teen Titans ability, the chosen character heals 2 instead of 1. This is really important because your Teen Titans are like X-Men. They are hella soft. They might as well be called cheesecake. Okay? Because they are soft and squishy, and they die really easily. And being mindful that they die really easily is very important. Okay? So, because they don't really have these big major tanks on their team, you are going to be using it, and being able to heal 2 instead of 1 also distinguishes them from X-Men, which have a whole lot of use X-Men team ability as free. Okay? So you're going to need that. Next up is Shaggy. All right? And yes, I did skip Scooby-Doo. Why you want Shaggy? So he has a trait taking the decoy on a leash. Super senses. So you should just trade his super senses. When Shaggy uses it and succeeds this turn, friendly characters with the Mystery Inc. keyword can use combat reflexes. This is useful up front if you're not buying Scooby-Doo chases. Okay? If you don't want to have the ducats for that, this is very, very useful. And you're able to utilize a lot of the Mystery Inc. Mystery cards, which is also useful. But, and here is my big but, and I cannot lie. When we start looking at the chases, This doesn't really offer anything to the chases at all because you have Fred Chase. And when I get to that, you'll see. But Fred Chase sort of makes this pointless. Because being able to have a super senses and a benefit to the rest of your team, if you're successful, is a little weak. Now, you do have I'm a ranged combat guy at first, to look at me, I'm steel energy and high attack value. To me, this isn't that useful right now. The Perplex is cool, full dial Perplex is cool for your mystery cards, but your later dial, you don't really want that. You're just better off just regenning up and getting back to top dial through regen. Okay? Alright, let's move to our next one, and this is Fred. Common Fred, I believe, is a must-buy for your average local player. And this is why. Fred just has Passenger 4. He has no restrictions on his Passenger 4. You don't have to be a Mystery Inc. person to be carried. He can just carry 4 people. Now, is his movement super awesome? It's good enough. Team him up with a peeper or 2. He's traveling 9 or 10 at that stage, and he's got a sidestep at 11. That bus is going places. Make sure you give him $5 for gas. You have an 18 defend, and in a world where we have lanterns and they're able to generate stop signs for free, place down some barrier or place down a mitt, you're pretty solid. He has TK, so after he carries, he can get more people in position. He has leadership. I think Fred is a must buy for your average player. Okay, I know some folks will say, I have Magic, who works really just with X-Men. I have Venom Magneto. Congratulations on your $250 piece. Okay, you can even say, oh, Dark Logos. I went and I spent a good amount of money on the X-Men slop, and guess what? I have what's his name, and of course, as soon as I bring it up, I forget his Manifold. I have Manifold, and I'm like, congratulations, he has Passenger 2. So Fred to me is a solid buy. He is very useful for most players. If you're not going to Worlds, and that's the only thing you're thinking about, if you're at the common venue, Fred is very useful. All right, next up is Raven. I'm going to say this. I can only see playing Raven at 50 points because at full dial, you're not getting a lot. You're actually losing. You're not getting your Perplex. The shape change is nice. It doesn't really offer much to you. And again, when we start looking at our cards, our mystery cards, all right, our Teen Titans are making attacks. Okay? But having Perplex to make those attacks, so you get those values up, is important. And then also having TK is important so that you're able to get people into position. All right? So Raven at 50 points. Mystics, Teen Titans, team ability, it's really decent. She's only able to carry one person. I really wish she just had traded Passenger 2 or even Passenger 3. But she doesn't, so that's okay. All right, I know some of you might be saying, so you're going to bring up Starfire next, right? Nope, Starfire sucks. They did not design her well. They really didn't. And if her second click was her first click, she would be a top tier piece for everyone to consider. Definitely with all the things that are to come. But in the current environment, she unfortunately is there as a shoulder to cry on when one of your Teen Titans gets hit, takes a click so that she's enraged and full of passion to blast people. That's it. That's all she's good for. Okay. Next up is on our list is Harley Quinn at 25 points, and realistically, you're never really playing her past 25 points. I don't see a reason to play her on top click at all. On the run, friendly characters with Batman enemy team ability have Suicide Squad team ability. This is going to give you a little bit more survivability for your Batman enemy, which, in all honesty, we already know when we start stacking our Batman enemy effects in this set, it can get really good. All right, next up is Batgirl. Batgirl, I'm going to advocate playing Batgirl at 20 points. Now, I know some of you are going to come back and say, whoa, okay, why? All right, I'm able to run 2 or 3 Batgirls and run through my Mystery Inc. Mystery cards hella fast. And I still have perplexes for my team. Okay? And so when we look at that, I'm able to trigger my Batman family, the Gotham ones, my Batman family ones, and my detective ones. Anything with detective with my perplex. Right there, I'm looking really strong, and I'm also able to trigger my Teen Titans cards because I can just attack with them. So when I'm looking at a figure that is very useful all around, I'm looking at Batgirl. She's able to trigger, I think, off of all of the mystery cards. She is useful primarily as a support for your perplex cards. If you lose 1 or 2 of her, you're not really out of the game. So I think that by far she is a definite must buy. Like I can't see a situation where it is a good idea to bypass her for your detective team. Well, I'll take that back. On your Teen Titans team, she's like mandatory. She's mandatory. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our next one on the list, and that is Clayface. Clayface, in my opinion, is a very good tie-up piece, and he is also one of those figures in the set where game design forgot to put a max on his amount of paws. So, yay, you messed up there, WizKids, but that's okay. We still love you for this mistake. So for 50 points, we got 7 clicks, which is pretty good. And he has What's the Matter, Bats, seeing double. Shape change, when Clayface uses it and succeeds after resolution, you may generate a Clayface duplicate, protected outwit. So you can't get rid of this. So the only way to get past this is have Battle Fury or Pulse Wave. And in the current game, both powers are not very popular. Just outright. Yes, there is still the emotional modifier. Does it have value? Yes. Are a lot of people still using it since Thanos is, not as poppin' fresh as he was? It's questionable. So this figure has a chance to be like a surprise to a lot of casual players and even some, and I do emphasize some, competitive players. All right, so the fact that like his bystander doesn't have shape change is fine because it's there primarily just to tie up additional figures and to gain other bonuses. Okay. Next up, the figure that we're going to be looking at is someone that you probably wouldn't think I would be promoting, but I am, even though it's massive scope reuse, is number 14, Batman. Now, you have a choice of playing him at 50 or 75. I sort of don't care. I really don't care which point value you play him at. So why are we looking at him? Well, first off, on both of his point dials, he has Perplex, which again, going back to the mystery cards, is very useful because he also has Detective. He also has, so he qualifies for all the mystery cards. He also has his Batman family. So when he attacks out of hindering, he has additional bonuses with that. And he's Justice League, Scientist, and Trinity. He has Metropolis and Gotham. So if you ever want to run those oldies but goodies, which we don't really get too much settings for, you can. All right, so then you have Rally 3. All attack rolls free. Remove one of Batman's rally dice to choose a friendly character within range and line of fire. Okay? Until your next turn, the chosen character has Safeguard, Opposing, Perplex. This is good for what... I'll say, let me rephrase this. This is good in the medium term if you are not running mystery cards. Okay? If you are running mystery cards, this is so-so. All right? Next up, you have his team up, which is Superman, Wonder Woman. If the listed friendly character is on the map and Batman uses Rally to choose a character with Batman team ability, Superman team ability, or Wonder Woman team ability, the chosen character also has Safeguard, Opposing, Probability Control. Again, this is okay until we start looking at our mystery card. All right. So we can consider this as a solid. All right, but like once we start getting into our mystery cards, we have issues. All right. Next up is Superman. I personally like Superman at 75 or 50. I don't think he's worth 150 points. Realistically, I don't think he is. He has the same sort of keywords where he has that Amazon Batman family, Gotham City, Justice League, all this other stuff. Why is this important? Again, we can utilize this Superman with our Batman family team-up cards. I mean, not team-up cards, mystery card. All right, so we're starting off at 150 with a 12 attack. And I'm not too hype about that. But we do get CCE. At our 75-point value, we got 11 attack. And then at our 50-point value, we have a 10 attack. So that's okay. Our defenses are pretty good, sitting at 18. And the lowest we get is a 17. We have Team Up, Batman, Wonder Woman. If a listed friendly character is on the map and Superman uses Rally to choose a character with Batman team ability, Superman team ability, or Wonder Woman team ability, the chosen character removes all action tokens instead. This is why you need to look at him. Because you can have a character that is double token in a very bad spot, and you are removing their tokens. Also, for your detectives, when you go into Murder City Enduring, this is very useful for getting your clue tokens in Murder in the City Enduring. All right. So, friendly attack rolls, Rally. If you roll a 1, remove one of Superman's Rally dice. Free, remove Superman's Rally dice to remove an action token from a character within range. Okay? The Arctic Breath, when Superman hits with a ranged attack, choose one to last until your next turn. A hit characters can't use stop. A hit character gains immobile. All right. I'm going to tell you the 100% truth. And this is again one of the core reasons why you are playing Superman at 75. You are all 9 times out of 10 in most of your matchups, you're going to have immobile. In a rare occasion, you are going to get ignore stops. There's not enough characters that ignore stops. Okay? And that have a lot of stop clicks. Okay? You might say, why is that, Dark Logos? And it's for one key main reason. If they are stuck, Justice League has enough ground pounder melee guys to be extremely frustrating. Okay? Not only that, he can use his rally die to clear tokens from himself, which just makes him very, very ridiculous. Let's say we decide to give Superman pumpkin bombs. All of a sudden, he has energy explosion and hit targets gain. Oh no, it says a hit target. Never mind. So it's a hit instead of hit targets. So a hit target will gain immobile. So you could just choose, oh, hey, Fred, you in the back. You're immobile. Okay? So there are a lot of cool things that can go down. I just would tell you, look deep at him. We're a team player. So that's cool too, but I'm going to make the argument right now that ability is, that team ability on this Superman is okay. Okay? It's not the greatest, it's okay. So make sure to add Superman into your common block. Next up, we have Wonder Woman. And I'm going to make a inverse statement. I would say that you must run Wonder Woman at 75 and never really add 50. And I know some of you are going to be like, whoa, what is up with this? Let's look at that. We're paying 25 more points for Impervious and a 12 attack instead of Super Senses and an 11 attack. Now, I know our movement is exactly the same, and our damage output is exactly the same, and we have one more defense. But the fact that we're a 12, 18, and we're able to assign equipment that can make our stats a lot better, yeah, I'm taking it. I'm straight taking it. So we can still also have like all the other good Wonder Woman equipment stuff while it's legal. All right, team up. Batman, Superman. If a listed friendly character is on the map, Wonder Woman can use Rally to choose a character with Batman team ability, Superman team ability, and Wonder Woman team ability. Chosen character heals 2 clicks instead. Okay? So, hers Rally is when an opponent rolls a 6, free remove one Wonder Woman's Rally dice to heal a friendly character within range 1 click. So, this is sort of useful. But realistically, for the way that we're designing and looking at most of the teams that she's going to be on, we're not getting a ton of mileage off of this. Okay, because she's going to get yeeted out, put in the fray, and start punching people. Okay? Lasso of Truth, Giant Reach 3, Quake. When Wonder Woman hits after resolution, hit characters can't use damage powers until your next turn. And there we go. That shuts down a lot of characters. So let's say you're able to get through a Scarlet Witch shape change. All right, you go and you hit. All right, she didn't super sense out. Yeah, you're taking that Mystics, but guess what? She can't use Perplex. She can't use Prob. She can't use Outwit. Her Darkhold is gone. Any Darkhold user, their ability to use a Darkhold is gone. Your shape change for future encounters, gone. Okay, and she's doing this, she can do this through Quake. So she doesn't necessarily have to get one character. All right, so I really want you all to like think about that, like the utility that you have in that. All right, so what we are going to do is we are now going to proceed on to look at the uncommons. Okay, so we start off with Bumblebee. And I'm going to be honest here. The main reason we're looking at Bumblebee is that we have what I would call a mediocre Stunning Blow, but a really cheap points. For folks that don't know what Stunning Blow is, it was a feat. It allowed for you to incapacitate and deal damage. This is what this does, except you have Precision Strike stacked on top of that. And so I think that that's a really solid thing. Let's see. She also does normal damage to hit characters given an action token. Alright, so you have to be able to give an action token to deal damage. That's the only caveat that's there. Alright, hypersonic speed and all that jazz is not bad at 40 points. It's okay. Her 11 attack is going to help you for your Teen Titan mystery cards. But she is tiny, so she can't carry anybody, but she does. She can be carried. So don't let the scope fool you. Okay. So let's keep it moving. Next up is Robot Man. Now, why are you gonna say hey, Robot Man? Why are you playing him at 50? He has improvement, destroys blocking, which you're going to need in this meta because of the rings. Like being 100, you're going to need that in this meta going forward. Then you have for my friends. I'm an unstoppable force, willpower. This is good. Actually, no, it will not apply for. He doesn't qualify for murder in the city enduring. Willpower. When Robot Man uses it after resolution, you may move him up to a number of squares equal to the result. So you roll 5 or 6. Guess what? He is up there. If you have the Green Lantern ring on him now, or was it Super Soldier Serum? Now he has a chance of moving on a 4. So he's able to move 4 squares and then charge. So functionally, he has a, let's see, at max, he would have a 8 movement swing. Okay? And that can be very, very powerful because he can move first, outsiders, and then charge. Okay? And outsiders team ability pretty much says that you get no stat modifications. Positive, negative, no stat modifications. This is very useful. Let's just say if you're under the effect of emotional modifier. If I outsiders my own friendly character, guess what? I don't have minus stats. Okay? I don't have ESD or Henry Terrain bonus either, but if none of those things are in effect, guess what? They're not in play. But if I do that to my opponent, and they're a close combat expert, combat reflexes powerhouse, well, I sort of neutered them and cost my opponent a lot of combat power and lots of aggro capability. Oh, would you travel more or have extended range or anything else? Guess what? You don't have that now. All right, so next up is Red Raven. Red Raven is on this list just primarily because of her rally. And she's charged Flurry Blades. Like, I'm just being 100. She is a rally 6, and when you do that from opposing characters, remove 2. Oh, you have to remove 2. Never mind. 2 of Red Raven's rally dice. If you do this game, she has Still Energy, Colossal Damage Symbol, and Cosmic Energy team ability. So that's just for the rest of the game. Yeah, so wow. That can be big. Then we also have Tell Us How You Really Feel, Raven. Sideline active when the friendly character of 40 points or more with the Teen Titans keyword is KO'd. After resolutions, you may generate a Red Raven from your sideline on click 4. In that character square, if the KO character was named Raven, you may generate Red Raven on click 1 instead. There you go. So it does allow for you to be a little bit more aggressive with your Raven play. Because again, where did I say? We're playing Raven at 50 points. So Red Raven has the potential of coming in. But do keep in mind, yeah, you can get screwed over if someone's able to kill Raven and Red Raven, because that's 125 points right there. Okay? All right, next up is Blackfire. I'm making the argumentation that Blackfire at 100 is really only good for sealed. Blackfire at 50 is very nice in general, and she functionally has outsiders. Yeah, she just has outsiders as her trait. That's it. Actually, it's free. Choose an opposing character within range of line of fire. To your next turn, that character's combat values can't be positively modified. Actually, it's better than outsiders, because outsiders locks your values at printed, and this allows for you to lower a person's stats down and they can't raise them. So yeah, Raven at 50. I'm not Raven. Blackfire at 50. This is worth it. Poison Ivy. Yes, at 25. Friendly characters with the Batman team ability can use stealth. This is mixed for me because a lot of them do have some access to stealth, but some of them don't. So this is useful for covering your Batman team ability, Batman enemy characters, so that they're sort of like your Batman characters. Because your Batman family characters do not have a bunch of improved targeting, ignores, hindering. So it does start to make the game a little bit more balanced. All right, careful, boys. I bite. Poison, but deals damage even if moved or placed this turn. I will make the argument that if you are going to really emphasize on that at the full 50 points, she needs to have a Red Lantern ring. Okay? All right, next up is Beast Boy. Now, Beast Boy, by far, is one of the quintessential figures in the set. Okay? Now, why am I saying that? for one thing. Take a ride from the Cretaceous period, bruh. Wing symbol, passenger 4. Wing symbol, passenger 4. We have a movement of 8. So you're not as good as Fred because Fred has sidestep, but he has a movement of 7. But guess what also he has? Dolphin symbol. So he's a flyer, and he also has dolphin symbol, which allows for him to be a little bit more stealthy and a little bit more sneaky. And you're able to team him up with Deadpool and make the rest of the homies very, very stealthy. Okay? Or harder to draw line of fire to. So I personally like this. I think that this is a very useful figure. And if you want to, and I'm just saying want a Red Lantern ring on him and switch over to, your plasticity, poison, combat reflexes, that's not bad either. Okay? Alright, let's keep it moving. Next up is Jinx. Your Jinx is 40 points. The only reason you're playing Jinx is for her Girls' Night Out. Friendly characters with Teen Titans ability have Mystic's team ability. Period. That's it. That is it. You do not need to think about anything else. You are automatically playing Jinx if you are ever playing Teen Titans in perpetuity into the future. Okay? That trait alone is broke strong. Doesn't matter what Titan it is. You are going to play this ability. You're going to play this Jinx. Oh, you're going to be like, but Dark Logos, they have protected mystics, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. Don't care. Most people aren't. And this is one of the figures that makes them competitive. Because it makes your opponent think twice before they hit you. That's number 1. Number 2, you can play your Magician card and get some bonuses. Number 3, you can roll your Soul Sword and get some bonuses, separate bonuses. So, I'm just saying, this is a power piece for if you're playing Teen Titans. Alright, next up is Power Girl. We are running Power Girl at full, at 75 points. And I know you're like, hold up, wait, why? Why aren't we just running multiples at 40? Okay, so here's why. We want dial length because we have Jinx. We want our opponent to sink 2, 3, maybe even if they're unfortunate, 4 attacks into Power Girl, and we want to heal her up. We want to be frustrating as all get out. And we are going to send that girl down there with like 3 perplexes, and she's just going to start punching things. And that's pretty much it. And we're going to force our opponents to hit decent numbers, or if we decide to utilize our perplexes and hit higher numbers, and when you hit me, you're going to take mystics damage. I'm going to make sure when I gollywop you, you don't have invincible. Like, that's the key thing. I'm going to make sure you don't have invincible. Because if I make sure you don't have invincible, you're going to take damage. You're going to take mystics damage. Okay? Alright, next up is Elastigirl. Now, the reason we're looking at Elastigirl is she's 60 points outsiders. She's celebrity, so you're able to get her on your Spider-Man family people. And she has Giant Reach 4, which is really good, considering that she has Quake. And she also has Regeneration as free, but only if Elastigirl was damaged since your last turn. So those factors combined with her stats makes her pretty solid. All right. Let's see. I lost myself on realms. Here we go. The Penguin. The Penguin, to me, is one of the strongest 25-point pieces right now in the game. And when you look at that, you're going to say, well, why? And I will say, because of his team up. And then you all are going to say, Dark Logos, you're high and done. You went to the dispensary. We saw you. We got pictures. We got this episode. It's a pure proof that you are smoking the good on the side. And I'm telling you, I'm not. But his team up is important because if he's part of a Gotham City Underworld team, and all of a sudden he says, if the Penguin is part of the listed theme team, at the beginning of your turn, roll a d6, and the Penguin can use the resulting effect until your next turn. 3 through 5. Characters without the Underworld team ability can't carry more than one character. Fred and the Bus, y'all broke down. Beast Boy, they got off of the wings there. You're grounded. On a 6, characters without the Underworld team ability can't carry. That right there is a problem. Because when you're starting to tell people, definitely in this Flyers carrying Flyers meta, you can't carry. That's a problem. Okay? Alright, so then he has running Gotham's Underworld friendly characters with the Batman enemy team ability have Underworld team ability. This is very useful. It's not necessarily the best of the best, but it does have a lot of utility. And that's why, again, I said him coming in at 25 points is your best bet. All right, next up is Catwoman. And she is... I'm going to make this argument. Catwoman is more useful for Batman family than she is for Gotham City Underworld. Her team up is Batman family theme team. If Catwoman is part of the listed theme team, friendly characters that share a keyword with her have team player team ability. Boom, done, that's it. That's it. The ability to get team player onto that is ridiculous. Now we have all sorts of... So I would put it like this. You get the Batman Prime for this from this set. You play her with the team up card. You run all your other Batman family figures. They all have Green Lantern. They all have Green Lantern team ability. Oh, I running shot with Batman. I carried the whole crew. Oh, this one has sidestep. Part of the crew moves back. Oh, the other one has sidestep. Oh, the other. Well, we move back some more. Oh, this one had sidestep. More of the crew moves back. Oh, like the amount of silly shenanigans that you can do is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, she by far is the best figure for Batman family theme team. Okay? Next up, you have improvement with Elevated. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Your valuables aren't safe around me. Precision Strike. When Catwoman rolls... when Catwoman hits, roll a d6 on 3 through 6. Unequip a hit character. This is useful. This is useful. Because now we're in a different situation where we're able to start messing with equipment. Because I don't have to worry about Destroyer now. You see what I'm saying? You're not equipped when the final check is made. Okay? You're not equipped. So there is some usefulness in her. I think a lot of people will sleep on because, like, let's be 100, how many people are going to be running Batman family theme teams? And the answer is not many. All right. All right, last up for uncommons, and I'm going to just end this episode here. We're not at an hour yet, but I'm just going to end this episode here. We're going to be looking at the Joker. Why are we running the Joker? Okay? For one and one reason only. My entire team has Mystics. Just like we have Jinx. My entire team has Mystics. That, ta-da! Ta-da! That's, if there is any other reason, I can't think of one. Alright, so for people that have a little bit deeper collection, and I'm just going to say, just a little bit deeper collection, what I want you to do is go to Justice League Unlimited Joker. And then I want you to grin. I'm not going to read it. But if you played it, you already know. If you played it, you already know. Real recognize real. Okay? In these streets. You already know. So just smile. Take that nod with you. Take that nod with you, homie. And then we'll keep it moving. All right, so I'd like to thank y'all for listening to this episode. I want to see you next time in the next episode where we go through hopefully the rest of the set. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com if you wish to opine. Keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. That's it. I'd like to thank you all for listening. And remember, we all have to start over sometime.